Hi, this is Maddie Childs with Music Mastery, and in this video I am going to perform the first part of Loch Lomond, a Scottish folk song arranged by JaRod. After I play through this piece, I am going to provide a tutorial on how to master this part so that you are ready for your next rehearsal. Here we go! 1, 2, 3. Two, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. Ready, here we go. Two, 1, 2. One, two. I hope that performance was helpful for you. Next, let's go through the piece phrase by phrase, and I will provide for you some tips and tricks to make sure that you know how to practice all of the elements in this piece. If you need more help with technique or something that wasn't covered in this tutorial, make sure that you check out the fundamental videos in the lesson library. So let's get into it. So the first thing I see when I look at this piece is that it says adagio and it starts on a pickup. So it's going to be a nice, slow, smooth, and flowing piece. And it's very lyrical. So you want to kind of pour your heart out into this and play just the most beautiful singing song that you can when you're playing this piece. So with the clarinets starting with a melody on a pickup, you want to make sure that you breathe before the fourth beat. So you're going to breathe on beat 3. So you'll probably get a prep of 1, 2, 3, and you breathe on that, and then you come in on 4. And although you have a mezzo piano, you want to make sure that you play this piece this first melody nice and supported, because you do have the melody in the very beginning. And you want to play this nice and smoothly. So you want to make sure that your tongue is nice and light. So dee, 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 dee. So kind of like that. So just make sure you're nice and smooth like this. 1, 2. Almost as if the tonguing is not there, but you want to make sure that you do hear and you do articulate these notes. And even though you have a nice, in measure 3, you have 3 Fs repeated in a row, you want to make sure that each one kind of grows and you have a crescendo into measure 4 up to this D. And that can be a little bit tricky. You go from A, C to D, and to help with this, you are going to want to keep down as many fingers as you can when you're playing the A. So when I play A, I have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and even the C key down. And so that really helps to make this transition into the upper register of the clarinet really easy. And I encourage you, anytime that you have a leap from an A or a B flat or even a G to the above the break, to use your resonance fingerings, as we call them, to make the transition a lot easier and a lot smoother for you, so that your fingers are already placed where they need to go. If it can be even to a D or a B, any of those notes above the break, it can really help. So to help with that, I definitely recommend in measure 3, going from the A to the C, just really focusing on the air, but also making sure you're pushing air on the A. So don't necessarily think about, oh my gosh, I all of a sudden have to use air on the C above the break. Think about pushing air on the A, and that'll really help support you when you go up to this next note, such as this. So don't think of just the one note, think of it over many notes supporting your air. So you have this melody with the flutes most of the time through these sections, through measure 12. And then you kind of have in measure 13 through measure 16, you have these big swells. So you start at piano, and then you go to forte really quickly, and then you go back to piano, and then forte again, and then piano. So make sure you exaggerate these dynamics. You want to make sure that you can hear that you are playing you want to hear all of these dynamic changes, and you want it to be nice, and it's not a sudden dynamic change. You want it to be a growth and then coming back. It's like a swell, like a hug of sound. And it's not forceful, it's very lyrical. So make sure you start soft and then use air and get loud and then come back down. Such as that. And then, so you kind of have the same melody throughout most of this piece. Just make sure that every note that is a new slur or a separate note, that you are articulating every single one of those notes. And with a nice and light tongue, just think of your tongue being as a dee, 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 in that type of way. And then in measure 32, you kind of back off, and the oboe has a solo. So make sure that you come down when you're playing that E whole note in measure 34. And then you have some lower notes in measure 35 and 36. So make sure you really support that with all of your air. You fill up, even though it's piano, you still want it to be supported. So don't be afraid to use your air, but keep it soft as you can. And then we have a maestoso divisi in measure 41. And so you want to make sure that your band director has told you which divisi part you will be playing, either the top or the bottom. And make sure you really support your sound through that fortissimo. It's really important. And the biggest part is the climax. It's the peak of the piece. So you want to make sure it's nice and majestic and you're really just nice and full and strong, but not in a forceful way, in a very maestoso, majestic way, I would say. And yeah, so that's about all I have to say for this piece. So I hope that this video was really helpful to you and that it helped you learn your part. If you are enjoying these videos, make sure to encourage other members in your ensemble to join MusicMastery.band so that everyone in your section will have their parts mastered for every rehearsal. Remember that you get 3 requests per month as a member with us. We are looking forward to helping you master your next piece of music. Thank you.